What's up, guys? Joe with Momentum Worx. Today we're going to be talking about Cummins X15 VGT turbos and actuators. We're going to talk about why they fail and where you can get a really good deal on a replacement. Stay tuned. Alright guys, if you clicked on this video, I'm sure you have a Cummins X15 and you probably right now are having a turbo or an actuator issue, and that's why you're doing this research. Let's break it down. There's two major components. First and foremost, you have your electronic actuator, which is the first component, and then you have the actual mechanical portion of the VGT that's inside the exhaust housing of the turbo, and this is a system of vanes on a unison ring that slide in and out. Some people call it a VGT cage. There's a lot of nomenclature. But basically, there's a mechanical portion inside that turbo that could get jammed up with soot or it could be damaged by foreign impact damage. And then at that point, it would throw a code on your dashboard. Now, when you get that code, you're not sure if it's a problem with your actual electronic actuator or if the electronic actuator is not able to physically move the vanes inside the turbo, which then could also lead the actuator to burning out because the actuator has an electric motor, and if you put excessive force or if you're making that work harder than it has to, it's going to burn out prematurely. So what you're looking at here is a Momentum Worx version of the VGT turbo and actuator. These are direct fit and replacement for your Cummins X15 motor. You might have thought that these were dealer-only parts, but they are not. And if you've gone to the dealer for a price on these, I can guarantee you that we're probably a third to a quarter of the price of what they want to charge you. And we do have an industry-leading warranty. Not to use my French here, but I call it the no bullshit warranty. If for any reason within 1 year this turbo fails, send it back and we will replace it. Let's jump into the details on these turbos now you've gotten a good gander at the turbo and actuator we have available for the X15. So we said that we have an electronic actuator, and what you have here is this actuator. It's got an electrical plug, it gets some coolant in it, and on the back here you'll see this little gear. There's an electric motor inside that moves this gear back and forth to dictate the position of the VGT. So this gear matches up with this gear on the turbo, which then physically moves the vanes inside your turbo. And you can probably hear that click, 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 click. So as you're going down the road, the actuator is slightly moving, and it's hard to just move this a tad bit. It does move nice and freely. It moves a little bit here in each direction to dictate how far the vanes go in and out of the housing. And we're going to pull one of these apart real quick so you can see what that looks like. And what that's doing is varying flow, guys. So picture a garden hose with your thumb over the end of the garden hose. And the further you put your thumb over, the more you're making more pressure but less flow. That's what this VGT is doing. So basically, when you're coming off of idle, it's going to the fully closed position, like putting your thumb all the way over the hose so that you can build water pressure, but of course this is building boost pressure. And as your boost pressure starts to rise as you go through the RPM range, the actuator will then open up to allow further more flow. So it's basically taking your thumb off of the hose to flow more water, but to flow more air so that you can efficiently run the truck down the road. Now what we have here is the bearing housing, so basically the center section of the turbo. This is where our actuator would sit, and we have this all broken down so that we can illustrate what's going on. Here are our vanes, and basically your exhaust housing would be here, so the vanes would be sliding in and out of the exhaust housing to basically vary the AR, and that's how you're getting your reduced, or basically your thumb over the end of the hose. That's how you're building pressure. So your actuator moves this gear, and it's kind of hard to do this here on camera. You can see how this mechanism slides in and out. And again, your exhaust housing would be here, and it's got little spots for these vanes to go in and out. And as this slides out, it reduces the space, and as it goes back, it allows for more space. So basically, this would build boost pressure as you're coming off, and then as you're getting into full throttle and you don't need restriction, this would then recess back in to give more space. So as you can see, basically this mechanism here and how this is sliding in and out, it's very easy for soot to build up and create a process or create a condition where this would start to bind up, and that's when you start to get actuator-related issues, because this is where your exhaust is coming in, your exhaust has soot, and soot is going to collect on this mechanism, especially in trucks that are deleted. Can I say deleted? Anyway, trucks that are deleted, or even just a truck that doesn't see a lot of highway runs, if it has a lot of soot building up in the exhaust housing, it's going to create a condition where these vanes will start to bind, and then you're going to get an actuator code and potentially burn out your actuator. Now that we understand the concept of how this works, you can see here, here's a used, failed exhaust housing with the ring in it, and now you can see how the things used to slide in and out of it. Now, let's look at the VGT mechanism itself, and see what sort of damage it took. So we can see here the turbine wheel, how that comes through our VGT mechanism, and let's try to get a better shot here. Yeah, that's what we want. So now this is off, this VGT mechanism moves again, but if you look in close, you can see here on the vanes where it was seizing inside of the unison ring, and that's because it has a lot of carbon buildup, or it might have had some foreign impact damage. I mean, this turbine wheel looks like it's seen some shit. If you get up close there, see where it's all shiny? That all means it was rubbing on something, because this compressor wheel should not be shiny. It should have carbon buildup on it, and it doesn't. So it was rubbing on something there. So we can see that this particular VGT failed, and these vanes were stuck inside of the unison ring. And people might say, oh, why can't I just clean up the carbon deposits? And that is an option. You can clean these, and you might get a little bit more mileage out of it. But the problem is, with what it costs for a tow bill, you do not want this thing to break again when you're on the side of the road and you're loaded. So unfortunately, like most things in life now, it's not a matter of repairing something, it's a matter of replacing it. So we've come out with a replacement actuator and a replacement turbocharger that are going to be a direct fit for your X15. When you have this failure point, you can throw on a brand new one and go. There's no core due. This is new outright. So you can keep your core for parts or sell it to a core vendor, and you're going to be getting a brand new actuator, a brand new turbocharger. Now, these actuators will have to be calibrated, so you'll need to use Cummins Insight or some sort of similar software to calibrate the actuator once you install it on your turbocharger. So why buy from us? Momentum Worx has been around for quite some time, focusing solely on turbochargers for the commercial diesel market. Our unit here features a billet wheel. It's got some of the best Cobalt VGT components in it, and it's going to do just as well as your stock turbo for a fraction of the price. Our actuators, direct fit, again, same 1-year warranty. You're not going to have any issues with this stuff. And if you do, we stand behind it. Give us a call. Let us know yours is coming back. We'll send you a brand new one within 1 year. Any failures at all within 1 year, we send you a brand new one. No questions asked. We just need your old one back. Guys, this specific turbo is for the X15. This is 2017 model Cummins. We also carry it for the older Cummins ISXs. We do the CM870, 71, 2250, 2350. We do all these VGT turbos. We do all the actuators. Just a quick thing on the end here as far as upgrades. So on the X15 particularly, you can either have a 64 millimeter compressor wheel or a 66 millimeter compressor wheel. What we have here is the 66 millimeter, which would have came on the Performance Series X15. Then the 64 millimeter would come on the Efficiency Series X15. You can put the Performance Series turbo, the 66 millimeter, on the Efficiency Series, and it's like a little upgrade. And you don't have to change anything in the tuning or anything like that, because the variable side of the turbo is going to make up for that any type of turbo lag from having the larger inducer. And it's the same OD wheel. It's just a slightly larger inducer. So if you've got an Efficiency Series, you can go with the Performance Series as a bit of an upgrade. And we're also using billet wheels in all of our VGT turbochargers. Guys, thanks for watching. If you need one of these, we ship worldwide. We are open Monday through Friday, and we can overnight anywhere in the country, and we're happy to expedite ship anywhere in the world. So if you need something from us, please visit our website, shoot us an email. If you've got a question, leave them in the comments below. And remember, Momentum Worx always has your back. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.